Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another cryptocurrency speculation video. I do have to put out the disclaimer. Don't listen to me. I'm stupid. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have lost over $1 billion. Okay, guys, welcome into... Guys, everyone's wondering what's going to happen with Bitcoin. It's had a bad year. We understand that. Is 2023 going to be bad? Are we going to reach another bull run relatively soon? That's what this video is going to be based around. Now, I'm going to give my rough estimate, and this is just speculation based on some loose data. I'll explain all of it, but I'm going to be talking about 2023, 2024, 2025, and we will kind of go over an absolute data, exercise here on Bitcoin with a bunch of different graphs and things like that and really look at it. And of course, we know with Bitcoin, if it goes up, if it, let's say Bitcoin in a month is sitting at $100,000, obviously that's not going to happen, but let's just say it does, the altcoins are very likely going to follow in some form or another. So 2023, my outlook on it, it's not great, guys. And you know what? Maybe this is self-serving, to be honest with you, because I'm someone that I'm actually waiting to get back into crypto. I want the prices as low as possible. So I've said, the market bottom is $7,000, $8,000, somewhere around there. I know for a fact, based off of someone that I talked to, it's at least going to 12K. What goes up must come down. It must go to 12K before we go back up. Whether or not it goes below 10,000, that's the number one thing people are speculating on. I do think we will have a higher low. Of course, we saw the market low during the last bear market during the pandemic. You could say, oh, it was caused by the pandemic. Well, this bear market can be caused by the war. It could be caused by inflation. The reality of it, it's always going to be caused by something that we're not expecting. So I would say a low, just speculation, $7,000. I don't think it goes any lower than that. And then for 2023, I'll say the high is 30K. There's going to be a lot of linear price action, a lot of price action in the mid-teens, which is what we've seen over the past month. Moving on to 2024, we're going to have the Bitcoin halving, which always, you would think, triggers hopefully the next huge bull market. That's kind of the cope we're all using. Normally 4 or 5 months after the halving, we get a mega pump. I've got it at a low around 28,000 in 2024, and I do have the mega pump happening in late 2024. This is just my speculation. I think the more important thing to look at is my prediction on the next all-time high for Bitcoin is somewhere in between $220,000 to $250,000, or 1/4 of $1 billion for the next high during the next bull market, possibly in 2024 or 2025. And then 2025, I have us kind of stabilizing with a low of 150K and a high of 200K. Now, how did I come to these numbers? Number one, let's just take a look at a few different predictions from different people. This is just a website I found. You can see this is just a 6-month outlook. Very bearish. You look at the 6-month prediction at around $10,000. 6 months would be right around June of 2023. Now, I have said I think the absolute low point of this bear market is going to be summer of 2023. This overall prediction somewhat aligns with it. You can see the price action there grayed out towards the right. Just pretty linear and going down pretty significantly, losing about 30% of its overall value, and actually 41% of its value looking at the price prediction thing. The fear and greed at 31, that can certainly go lower for sure. The fear and greed thing is really weird because we're at basically the lowest we've been, and the fear and greed during the summer last year was actually at like 6. Now it's at 31. I don't know if it's because we've got better inflation data, how that affects it in general, but it can certainly go lower than 31. We've seen it go lower, and if the price keeps falling, I would imagine it would get worse. Taking a look at these predictions you can take these with a grain of salt. This is really not how cryptocurrency acts, but I will say this is based on overall internet growth, the overall predictions. You can take a look at the Facebook growth in 2025, $250,000. again, I would take these with a grain of salt. Certainly, the expectation with cryptocurrency and the idea, especially investing into something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, we're only getting more and more attached to being online. It's only going to create more innovation, and theoretically, if we use the internet more, we're going to use currencies and cryptocurrencies more. So as the internet continues to grow across the world and get super innovative, the idea is cryptocurrency will get bigger and bigger and bigger. This is the overall technical analysis forecast. It is the sentiment according to, I don't know where they get this data, but looks like 6 analysts are bullish with 22 bearish, according to people. So 79% of the people are bearish right now, which doesn't surprise me. I think that's the general sentiment. The idea with Bitcoin based on its past history. I will say it's important, and I think we're going to go to that later. I will say it is important to understand we've got very little overall history, like price action on Bitcoin. So trying to use the past price action to predict the next all-time high, it's probably, obviously not the best thing to do, but that's really all we have. You can take a look at its support levels. I just thought that was something to look at. It does have major resistance at 18K. It's got massive support right at 17K. This is, so this is the past highs and lows in terms of, where the coin is on December 14th, 2021. You can see it opened at 48K. It kind of puts into perspective where we are now just a year later. We're down significantly. In 2020, we're actually down from 2020 as well. 2019, 2018, 7K and 3K. And 2017, I do remember the fun first huge internet viral bull run of Bitcoin. I remember I had 30 Litecoins and I didn't sell them. And Litecoin went up to, what was it, $300 or something. It went up $150 in a single day. And of course, I didn't sell them. I was very dumb. Taking a look at the overall price, full price chart of Bitcoin. I took the screenshot yesterday, so it might not be exact. But what I wanted to do, you take a look at its all-time high back in late 2017, or the market high there, combined with the market high in 2021, mid-2021. You can see right around 19,000 to 69K. That's an increase in terms of all-time highs of right around 250%. So based off of that, going from 69K possibly to a potential new all-time high of 220,000, maybe 250,000, that is a percent increase of 218%. Obviously, this is not an exact metric or number, but it is something. I think the thing that would be kind of the doomsday scenario is Bitcoin having another bull run, but not even reaching 69K. You always want it to go higher, especially Bitcoin, than its last all-time high. We've seen with several altcoins that not be the case, where they will have their 2017, 2018. It was really alt season in January 2018. And then, I can try and find examples. 2021, they reach about a third of their all-time high that they reached back in 2018. That is a doomsday scenario. Taking a look at the halving, we're all counting down. The estimated date right now, April 9th, 2024. So early April 2024, 480 days. I took this screenshot yesterday, so it should be a little bit less than that. And the idea is it will trigger, hopefully, the next bull run. It becomes harder to mine Bitcoin. It makes it more difficult and rare to acquire, which should drive the overall demand of it because the supply is harder to get. That's kind of the overall point there. I saw this, and this is so sad. A lot of people hate this, but I loved the rainbow graph or the rainbow chart, and now it's just completely warped. This is actually their version 2.0. Because the first version they said was invalid. And you guys can see, if you've never looked at one of these, it's a completely warped chart. This is how it should look. And you can see the price action on the right going below the dark blue. I would honestly just leave this chart like this. I think the way they have it now, it's so invalid at this point, and it's only going to get worse. But it is sad to see that because I do like that. Also, how about the Ethereum rainbow chart? It's still holding on, huh? It's holding on by a thread. It actually went significantly above back in the late 2017, early 2018. I hate that we had the bull run like right in between 2017 and 2018 because I can't reference it properly. Like if I said the 2017 bull run, I'm really only talking about Bitcoin. If I say the 2018 bull run, I'm talking about the alts. I'd rather it just happen in the middle, like in 2021. But yeah, it's hanging on by a thread. You gotta love Ethereum. It is. This is just a prediction that was made back in 2020, maybe 2021. They did these price predictions, and clearly they're wrong. This is pretty typical what you get. So 2022, they said the low would be 42K. And we're sitting here at 17,000 right now, getting ready to finish the year off. But overall, I would probably agree. I would not agree in 2024. There's no way it goes to 500,000. Well, I shouldn't say no way. You know how cryptocurrency is. But I think a realistic price would be 220,000 for an all-time high, possibly late in 2024. This is just, see, this type of stuff is really odd to me. This is actually a really bearish look, I would say, on cryptocurrency. Maybe I'm being greedy, but 170K by basically 2026. Obviously, that price action, that's not how crypto works. You're going to see extreme highs and extreme lows. And then they have it reaching 300K by 2030. It is something to look at, but the general consensus is you would think it would be higher than that. But again, maybe we're being too greedy. I don't know. You can see this Bitcoin waves model. This is interesting because you take a look at 2022. It has the minimum price at 10K. It has the max at 27K. I mean, it's at 17K. So, or the average price was 27K, which is kind of near where it was in 2022. 2023, 2024, 100K possible, 2025, 250, and it keeps going up past that. And then this overall is another look at the waves model, the different kind of trajectories Bitcoin can take with the halving happening after 2024 right there. So guys, when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to the future of it overall, again, I think 2023 is probably going to be bad. It is speculation, and yes, it is self-serving, but I really could use crypto to throw me a bone on this and really jam the alts down to even go lower, and I could get a lot more things like that. But I would say let's not, normally you don't want to try and thread the needle. If it's a good time to listen, if you think Bitcoin, if you actually believe in Bitcoin, now is a great time to invest into Bitcoin. The only thing I would say, the argument is you can buy even more of it. But if you really think it's going to 100K, obviously buying one Bitcoin at 17K is a good investment if you think it's going back up, right? And I'm sure most of us do. Of course, you've got all these people that hate Bitcoin and things like that, and you need those people, of course, because if everyone loved Bitcoin and things like that, it's almost like it's too good to be true. No, you need critics. You need people that say Bitcoin's going to die, just like we heard back in 2019 and 2020 when it was at all-time lows. You're always going to need those people. They're so important, and they can go invest in the stock market and make $30 in a year off their 401k. Because that's what they want to do. They don't want to get risky with it. That's totally fine, but it's just so ridiculous, some of these people. Either way, guys, we need them to continue to say Bitcoin's dead, crypto's dead. Not everyone is going to make money off of this. It is a risky proposition, especially the altcoins and things like that. But just in general, I do think everyone try and get one Bitcoin. Obviously, it's easier said than done. If it somehow does go under 10K, we're talking about it becoming a little bit easier to acquire it, but it's one of those things where the problem I have with Bitcoin, if I actually had one full Bitcoin, I would never want to sell it. I would never want to sell it. With the altcoins, I can just get rid of them. That's what I was saying yesterday when it came to my war chest. I don't want to buy Bitcoin because I would never sell it. I would think if it goes to 100K, it's going to 200K, it's going to 300K, it's going to 400K. Everyone's predicting by 2030, 500, 600, 700. Why would I sell it right now? And then, of course, the idea is you sell it at an all-time high and then you buy more when it's lower, but that's so tough when it is pumping to sell, especially Bitcoin. The altcoins are easier to sell. The meme coins are the easiest thing to sell. They're nothing. They're useless, although most of the altcoins are useless. But the meme coins especially, they're so easy to dump. With something like Bitcoin, it's like it's almost like gold. Like selling gold is so hard even when it's high because it's like, I don't want to sell it. This is a literal asset. It's a digital asset to have. You know it's only going to keep getting more and more valuable with it becoming harder and harder to mine. That's the issue. It's like, I just want to buy a Bitcoin and look at it. Like, that's really all. I don't want to sell it. I just want to look at it in my ledger or in my portfolio and do that. So, guys, when it comes to Bitcoin's future, this is the full prediction for 2023. Not great. I think 2024 we really break out. Of course, this could be wrong. We could have a massive bull run in 2023, and I would get crushed. Maybe I'd be able to latch in late and make some money, but generally, I think 2023 is going to be pretty rough. 2024 with the halving, that's kind of the cope we're all using. That's when we get out of it. And then 2025, we really stabilize. We have that the next massive bull run. I'd say September 2024. That's just speculation. I'm just throwing out a random date. It is what it is, guys. That's kind of what I do. But either way, guys, I just wanted to talk about Bitcoin's future in terms of what is its price. And my official prediction I'll give, like January 1st, 2025, you know, you're looking at somewhere around $200,000. Maybe a little bit less if it's going back down, but I'd say somewhere around there for 2025 based off the data, based off all the models and things like that, if we actually do reach the next bull run by then. Of course, if we don't, I certainly think it'll be at least, 40 or 50,000, but it may take longer, which in theory will just allow people to acquire more cryptocurrency for a lower price, depending. It just all depends. Do you think it's going back up? If you do, it's definitely something you want to be investing into. Of course, some of us invest into cryptocurrency. Some of us invest into the stock market. I'll be honest, I won't put a dime into the stock market. I'm not interested. So it's just a risk assessment thing. And it's really a personality thing. You're either a crypto person or you're a stock person. Most of us are stretched so thin, we can barely even get and really diversify our portfolio in either the stock market or cryptocurrency. So it's not like you can throw $1 million into the stock market and $1 million into cryptocurrency and be happy. If I had $1 million right now, I shouldn't say this, but I'll say like 90% of it would go into crypto. If I had to choose between crypto and the stock market, I would buy a bunch of Bitcoin just to make sure I have a stable, asset in my portfolio. You buy a bunch of Bitcoin, you buy a bunch of Ethereum, and then you go crazy on some of the alts as well. Kind of more risky type thing. So guys, that is my official Bitcoin future prediction here for 2023, 2024, 2025. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.